Welcome back. An emotionally charged moment in the courtroom during the sentencing for Malik Hill. Hill will spend 87 years behind bars for shooting IMPD officer Tommy Mangan in 2022. Mangan's wife took the stand with a direct message to the judge. Tonight on Unfiltered, her words on the stand.
We were starry-eyed and excitedly waiting for the next chapter in our lives, waiting with anticipation for Tommy to graduate the police academy and start his dream career, looking at houses, waiting for the right one to come on the market, and waiting joyfully for our first child to come along. This was the sweetest time of waiting in our lives. That's who we were before Malik Hill shot Tommy through the neck and attempted to murder my precious husband in the line of duty. On February 27th, 2022, Tommy packed my lunch like he always did, with lots of snacks to get me through my 13-hour night shift at Methodist Hospital. He told me he loved me and sent me on my way before he began getting ready for his own night shift. Our routine included Tommy calling me on his way into his shift. We would pray together, and I would always pray that God would keep Tommy safe. Around 10:30 p.m., I had just finished an admission note and was enjoying a cup of coffee when my phone rang. The man on the other end identified himself as one of Tommy's training officers, and my body immediately began quivering. Then I heard these words: "Thomas was hurt responding to an incident, and he is in critical condition. I'm coming to pick you up and take you to see him. God, please keep Tommy safe. Please help him to be okay," I mouthed again and again as I waited for the elevator, rode it down to the ground floor, and began walking quickly and then running down the hallways to where the officer was waiting for me. He told me, "Thomas has been shot." My worst fear, my greatest anxiety. Where was he shot? I don't know that yet. I prayed as I was whisked through the downtown streets of Indianapolis that connect Methodist to Eskenazi Hospital. My prayer was nothing profound, just the simple pleas of a wife that God would save her husband's life. We pulled up to the ambulance bay, which was barricaded. I've got the wife, and we were ushered through. From the moment we entered the ambulance bay, I was immersed in a sea of blue uniforms. I was overwhelmed as they watched me walk through, but comforted to feel surrounded by Tommy's family in blue. They walked me back to his room and left me alone with Tommy. He was still sedated and ventilated. I walked up beside him and let my tears fall on his face. When he woke up, I remember the bewildered look on his face, as I had to tell my husband that he had been shot through the neck and that he couldn't even talk to process it all. I miss hearing Tommy's voice and his beautiful singing. I miss him scooping me up in his arms and spinning me around. I miss seeing his eyes crinkle up when he laughs and teases me. I miss dreamless nights of peaceful sleep. I miss the innocence Malik Hill stole from us that night. Now I can't walk down a street without wondering what felon I could be passing who has a gun jammed down their pants. Your Honor, I have prayed that Malik Hill would be brokenhearted over what he has done, that he would see the destruction he has wrought, and that his hard heart would be softened. I have experienced personally the sweet inward freedom of forgiveness of my sins through Jesus Christ, and I pray that he experiences that same inward freedom one day. Yet during the trial, Malik Hill has proven himself to be the most dangerous type of criminal. One who acts with no remorse, who takes no responsibility for his actions, one who has the audacity to look the man he tried to kill in the eyes and hear his broken, destroyed voice, a voice he himself destroyed, and blame it on the very officer he was also trying to kill. My heart broke every morning. I woke up and saw Tommy's broken body beside me, the rattling sound of him breathing through his narrow tracheostomy tube. My heart breaks every time he chokes while simply trying to swallow. My heart breaks when my 25-year-old husband, in the prime of his life, could not even walk upstairs without struggling to breathe. My heart breaks when tears of frustration fill his eyes because people cannot hear or understand his new voice. And my heart breaks that my dear husband, who wanted nothing more than to serve as a police officer, barely got a chance before it was ripped away so violently by Malik Hill. Your Honor, I ask that in your sentencing, you send a message that what Tommy lost that day matters, that the risk that all police officers face when they put on their uniform matters, that the safety and well-being of the citizens of Indianapolis matter. With the sentence you hand down, you send a message to the city of Indianapolis, the value of a human life. Your Honor, it is worth the greatest protection the law can offer.